wouldn't you just love to make a decision on going out just like that? Well, this doesn't work, but making that last moment decision in going out somewhere and having fun with family and friends, wouldn't you want to do that? Well, if we're in wheelchairs, doesn't quite work, does it? Yes. We really have to work on making a list of restaurants, for instance, that we know have that are accessible, that have accessible bathrooms. Those are the two really important things. And then a place where we can, settle in with our loved ones. And that just can't happen because we need to know. And calling around takes a long time, doesn't it? And then the restaurant says, oh, of course we're accessible. Everything is accessible. Just come. And then when you come, there's steps going into the restaurant, and the bathrooms are old and are not accessible at all. So how do you solve that? One of the things that I began to do is to use some apps, and to help these apps accumulate information that is workable, that is true. These apps, bring in information, but it's not quite complete without, a picture, a witness, someone who's experienced the bathroom, someone who's experienced the food, someone who's experienced the space, to know if you can get in and there's room for you and your family member. So these apps, you can help build them, but without us building them, they're just apps. So I think the owners and the writers of these apps appreciate if we also participate in adding information to the app. So, and you might say, well, Lisa, what apps are you talking about? Well, I'm going to write them down in the description box so that you can download them, take a look at them, see if they're useful for you. And, they'll go to the area where you live. So if this is an area where there's not a lot of wheelchair users or no wheelchair users, you might be the only one, there's not going to be a whole lot of information. And then it falls on you and other advocates to really look around town to see what restaurants, fast food places are accessible in all the sense of the word. So I know that, for instance, in my area, I know Culver's, Culver's cluster, they are accessible. They have accessible bathrooms. Their space is open enough for you to go in and find a spot for your wheelchair, and your family members can, also settle in. They have movable chairs. They have movable tables as well, so you can make your own design as to where you want to sit. So those are the things that are needed. There's also another restaurant that I know them well. I've been there a couple of times. I've been there with my wheelchair a couple of times. It's called Champion Chicken, and they're a great family-oriented, friendly place, and they're close by. And they have all kinds of pretty big menu. And so can we do that? Can we just jump at it? You could, if you had that list, or you're using an app that you trust, that you know, and you can pick a restaurant. Yes, I know this one's accessible. Let's go. So, I think that spontaneity can grow as you create your own personal list of restaurants and recreation spots. I think that spontaneity can grow if you use an app that has been well used, and the users of the app have worked at putting in restaurants and entertainment places, and have put in their comments and pictures, and that helps you and I to be more spontaneous using an app to be able to get to the places we want to get to. Because sitting on the phone for a half an hour trying to figure out if the place is accessible or not is challenging, very challenging, and you don't know what kind of information they're giving to you. They might not understand the word accessible, because accessibility means different things to different people. It really does. So I really want to invite you to take a look at these apps that I've used, and one of them is pretty new, so I'll put it at the top. I've been adding places that I know in my area, and the owner requested that I add pictures next time. And so, when I go to Champion Chicken, when I go to Culver's, I certainly will add pictures so that people can see the accessibility and the space, so they know, okay, my wheelchair, will it fit in here? What do I do if, so those, I can't take pictures of bathrooms. That's not allowed. but but I can report, I know it has accessible bathrooms. I've been in there. So yeah, I know Culver's. I know they have an accessible bathroom. For Champion Chicken, I have no idea. I've never used their bathroom, so I'd have to check it out. So so that is my take on spontaneity and the challenges we face. If you're kind of tired of using the same places and the same events, the same restaurants, then yes, you would have to explore. You would have to turn yourself into an explorer and go to a couple of places you haven't been to and see if they're accessible, and see if the bathrooms are accessible, which can be important, and see if it is practical for a wheelchair user to go in. Is the space open enough? I know one restaurant here in town which is not accessible. You can get in, however, they want you to leave your walker, they want you to leave your rollator and your wheelchair at the door. Hello. I'm not going to say their name here on the video, but oh my gosh. If I've ever heard of an ADA violation, it's that place. And I'm just so tempted, so tempted to go and see if it happens to me. See if they just spit out those words. Leave your wheelchair at the door. I would strangle them right then and there. They would have such a report done on them that it would not be funny. And that they have too many tables. Well, that's not my problem. You need to organize your restaurant in a way that people can come, that you fill up. Well, sorry about that, but you need to make space so that's ADA compliant, so people don't have to leave their walkers and their wheelchairs and their rollators at the door. It's ridiculous. Who would have thought that someone would have the gall to ask such a thing? I just truly want to go there and see what they do. Mm-mm-mm-mm. So, this is the issue, that some restaurants are just not aware, they lack the education uh, to understand that they also need to comply with the ADA. And unbelievable. But we need to go to those places that are open, that are friendly, who enjoy, who appreciate us as patrons. So those are the places we want to support, 100%. So this is just my thought. Use the apps, uh, make phone calls. The least that you need to explore other places that you haven't been to, but you might like to, and you want to check them out. So, if it looks good, you were able to get in, good bathrooms, take some pictures, congratulate them, and let them know you're gonna come back with family and have a good time. So anytime I think that there is a restaurant that makes efforts to have a space for the disabled, we should always thank them. And I think I've said this in other videos. It's important to thank them, so that they know that we truly appreciate it, and we really want to promote and help them in letting other people with disabilities know that this place is accessible, it's comfortable, and let's go. Let's go and celebrate. Thank you so much for coming to the channel. Feel free to like and subscribe and comment and share uh, any of the videos that of your choice. And I also want to take a second to congratulate YouTube in their 20 years of service to the community. It really is a service, because we find so much information, resources, fun videos, serious videos, we find news, all kinds of things, and it is incredibly useful. So I want to thank YouTube, I want to congratulate them, and let's help them celebrate with more fun videos.